Here we have a Dell Alienware 13. This is the 2014-2015 model. We're going to open up and explore the insides. Remember to put your laptop on something soft so you don't damage it or scratch it when you move it around. And we're going to flip to the back to begin. Now we're going to remove the back cover. There's two screws holding the back cover down. By opening this, it exposes your RAM slot and your hard drive. There's two RAM slots and there's only one hard drive slot. So after you unscrew it, it will open up a bit and you have to shove your fingers in it and pull it out. There's a little small gap. Just apply force to it when it comes out. So here we go, there's two RAM slots and your hard drive. These two cables are your keyboard. So RAM slot 1, you just push the two sides open and it pops up. There's two RAM slots, so that means 16 gigs max of DDR3 L, 8 gigs in each slot. Now we're going to remove the hard drive. These cables get in the way, so just remove them. So they get a bit annoying. You don't have to remove them. I'm just removing them because it covers the angle of my video. Generally, you don't need to remove it, and they have double-sided stick tape to hold it down in place. So to remove the hard drive, there's 4 screws holding it down. Depending on what hard drive you have, it will be slightly different. So these 4 screws remove the hard drive cage. That's if you have a normal 2.5 inch hard drive. For mine, I have M.2 slots, 2 of them. So I don't have a normal hard drive in it. So now that you remove the screws, you just lift it up and it comes off. So it just shows you this is an empty cage, there's nothing in it. So here's my M.2 slot. There's a cable attached to the motherboard. So you just want to remove that. You remove any side. And there's 2 screws holding this down. So this adapter holds 2 M.2 at 80mm long. Some of you might not have this if you have a normal hard drive, so just be wary of that. I'm just going to get a normal hard drive to show you that the hard drive cage actually fits a hard drive in it. So here's your hard drive cage. This is a normal hard drive. Just put it in. It fits. Now we're going to remove every screw on the back. So I'm just going to point them out to you. There's a few types of screws. So the outside screws look different from the inside screws. So that makes it a lot easier for you to tell the difference. So here, I'm pointing to this, it says push here. If you look closely on your laptop, you'll see the word push. So to remove the keyboard from the keyboard cover or the keyboard top, you push these two and it'll open up a gap. Just push it a bit and it'll open up a gap. Here you go. As you can see, a gap opens slightly. Then you can use your prying tool to go around it. So I just took it off screen and pried it open myself. It makes it a lot easier. Remember, your keyboard cable goes through, so be gentle on it when you remove the keyboard. And don't just rip your keyboard off, as the power cable is still attached. So these two cables here need to slot through a hole, so remember that. So now we're going to remove the LCD screen. You need to remove the antenna for the wireless, which is on the other side. You can't remove the wireless card yet, but you can unscrew the plate holding the wireless antenna down and route the wireless antenna through the hole, as it is attached to the screen. So for us to remove the screen, we need to remove it. So we need to remove this cable as well. This cable is quite hard to remove, so just remove it halfway. There's also sticky tape over it. You need to remove the sticky tape before you can pull it out. Just remove it a bit, and when you take out your LCD screen, you can remove the whole thing a lot easier. There's screws on these black tabs. You need to remove these screws. So we need to remove the LCD cable. The LCD cable is hinged, so there's on top of it, there's this little stick. You have to flip it open before you can pull out the cable. So I'm just struggling to open the hinge a bit, but here you go. Here it is. It's a bit small, so you probably want to use someone with small fingers or nails to remove it. So now we need to flip the laptop around, as there's screws on the back. So there's two screws here. First we need to remove the LCD screen. So now we're going to remove the black tabs, these here. One of mine came off really easy by just wiggling it. The other one took really long. So just take your time wiggling it and it'll come out. As you see, the first one was really simple to remove, but this one is a bit hard. So here you go, it came off. So now I need to get my screwdriver to remove two screws. Under the black tab there's two extra screws you need to remove. to remove the LCD screen. There's actually 2 screws on each side of the hinge, not just 2 screws in total. For this one, you have to unroute your cable, as the cable blocks the screw. Now that we've done that, we can remove the LCD screen. So we're going to backtrack a bit. I didn't show you how to remove the screws for the motherboard. There's 3 screws holding the motherboard down you need to remove. All the screws are numbered. There's 1 to 3 actually. So now we remove the screws. This part is a bit tricky. So the idea is you have to push the side out, push the plastic off, so you can lift the motherboard up, and you have to wiggle it out a bit and it comes out. Also, don't pull it out straight away, as there's cables on the other side that we have not removed, such as the battery cable. So I'm just going to flip it around now. There's the battery cable and charging cable that we have not removed. So here, this is the battery cable that you need to remove. So the reason why I didn't remove at the start, it's a bit hard, as the gap isn't big enough. So after removing the motherboard a bit, it gives us more room to remove it. There's another cable still attached. So this cable is the power cable for your AC adapter. So it's a bit hard to remove. You can either unscrew these 2 screws that I just showed you to remove the whole power jack itself, or you can actually pull out the power cable from beneath. So just to show you, here you go. So the power cable is there. So here's the BIOS battery, wireless card. So now we're going to remove the heatsink. There are 7 screws holding the heatsink down. They're actually numbered. When you remove it, you don't have to remove it in order. When you put it back, remember to put it back in order. Also, these screws come off. Generally, heatsink screws don't come off. And the heatsink we have here is a all-in-one, as in it covers both the CPU and graphic card together. Many laptops have them separately, but most laptops now have changed to the phase where they make it together as one piece instead of 2 pieces. It's a bit hard for you to see the screws as the heatsink is black and the screws are black. So after you remove all the screws, remember to flip it around, as there's cables behind it. The power cable for each fan is behind. Try not to pull on the cable and actually drag out the plastic. So after you remove it, it comes off pretty easily. So here we have the heatsink. I'm just going to get a cloth and clean off the thermal paste. You don't need any special liquids or solutions. Also, you need to clean off the thermal paste for the CPU and graphic card as well. These black things are actually the RAM, and the other one is the CPU. So here's my cloth. I'm just going to move it off screen as it's easier for me to clean. So here we go. That's clean. Just rub it until it's clean. Try to do the best you can. So here we go. The heatsink is also clean. I'm just going to get my thermal paste. So I'm using M.2 NTH1. Don't be cheap on thermal paste. It costs nothing. It costs $10 for this, $10 Australian, and it works for 15 applications, and it's really important. For your GPU, graphic card, put half a rice grain size of thermal paste on it, and for your CPU, put one size of a rice grain on it. Just put it in the center, you don't have to spread it out. But for your CPU, as it's more lengthwise, so try to make it lengthwise with it. So now, I'm just going to show you the numbers on the heatsink, as when we screw it in, we have to screw it in order. So I'm just going to point out a few numbers. So 1's here, 2's here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a bit hard to see the numbers as it's in black as well. So place your heatsink over the holes. Try not to press down on it until you have aligned it correctly. So once you have aligned it, don't just put your screw in straight away and start screwing the first one, avoiding pressing down on it if you can. You can press down on your screw, but try not to press down on your heatsink. So you have to plug in your fan power cable again, don't forget it. If you forget to plug in your fan power cable, when you turn on your laptop, it can either beep or show up an error message, and especially it's going to be a pain in the ass to remove everything again just to plug these in. Now we're going to remove the wireless card, which is here. So just unscrew it, the screw, and it will pop up. Mine has double-sided sticky tape on it for some reason. Recently Dell has decided to put a lot of double-sided sticky tape on their products, which makes it ridiculously hard to remove. So I can't remove it, so I'm just going to leave it there. So that's basically how you remove it. This disassembly is extremely hard and has a lot of screws, so be careful if you really need to open it or not. Think about it properly. But if you watch the video properly and take your time with it, it should be relatively simple, but does take a lot of time and requires a lot of patience. Thanks for watching.